Mars Orbital Dry Dock, April 12, 2123. Engineer Elias Kurosawa floated toward the probe, his helmet lights reflecting off Voyager's golden record. Up close, the pitted metal told a lie. These micrometeorite scars. He dragged a gloved finger along the hull. They're not just mapped, they're replicated down to the molecular fractures. Director Vance adjusted her echo implant, the blue neural interface pulsing. Of course they are. The Draxian hegemony scraped Pioneer 6 last year. Their scans would detect imperfect forgeries. Elias's stomach clenched. He'd seen the classified reports. Whole colonies disappearing near Draxian borders, their comms screaming about harvest fleets before going silent. Behind them, a technician pried open Voyager's data core. Elias caught a glimpse of the modified contents, images of famine-ravaged cities, nuclear explosions, radio chatter pleading for help. None of it real. You're baiting them, Elias realized, making Earth look like easy prey. Vance's smile never reached her eyes. We're buying time. The Dyson swarm won't be operational for another century. She tapped the fresh tool marks beneath Voyager's aged exterior. Proof this wasn't the first reset. Survival demands convincing theater. A warning flashed on Elias's wrist display. Echo Protocol active, Deception Cycle 12. Luna Command Bunker. June 8, 2247. Commander Lyra Holt watched the solar flare warnings flash across her display with growing dread. The same type of storm that had killed her father during a routine calibration exercise 10 years ago. Echo, status of Voyager 1? She asked, fingers tightening around her father's old dog tags. The AI's voice whispered through the bunker speakers. Probe has entered the storm's termination shock. Signal degradation at 87%. Probability of total loss, 98.7%. Across the command center, technicians exchanged glances. After 124 years of perfect resets, the unthinkable was happening. Their oldest deception might finally be over. Lyra opened a secure channel to Titan. Initiate Protocol Replica, and someone get me Kurosawa. Titan Shipyards, June 15, 2247. Ravi Kurosawa hated working in the replication vault. The sterile white chamber hummed with quantum forgers, creating Voyager 2's components, each atom placed to mimic centuries of deep space weathering. His grandfather's journals had warned him about this place. Focus on the data core, snapped Supervisor Cole, his echo implant pulsing blue. The original's degradation patterns must be perfect. As Ravi adjusted the molecular aging algorithms, his console flickered. For half a second, he saw it, a string of code hidden beneath the probe's telemetry system. Echo Protocol 12. If compromised, initiate planetary sterilization. His stomach lurched. The coffee cup slipped from his hands. Crixus Science Outpost, September 2nd, 2247. Zethfor's triple-jointed fingers trembled as he adjusted the quantum scanner. The device, a tangled mess of crystalline circuitry and bioluminescent wiring, hummed softly in the dim light of the outpost lab. Around him, the walls pulsed with the slow, rhythmic glow of Veyan architecture, their surfaces grown rather than built, threaded with living veins of photosynthetic resin. His lab partner, Grex, clicked his mandibles in annoyance. "You've been staring at that human relic for hours," he chittered in their native tongue, the words vibrating through the dense, ammonia-tinged air of the station. "It's just another primitive artifact. Why waste your exile on this?" Zeth didn't answer. The Veyan Science Guild had banished him to this remote outpost for heresy, for daring to suggest that the Draxian hegemony, the galaxy's reigning superpower, was hiding something about the humans. Now, as he studied Voyager 2's scans, his fringe of sensory tendrils stiffened in alarm. These wear patterns. They're manufactured. He projected the data onto the holodisplay, where swirling fractal stress lines pulsed in perfect mathematical harmony. Natural cosmic erosion doesn't create Fibonacci spirals in titanium alloys. Grex leaned in, his compound eyes reflecting the hologram. So the humans polished their probe. What does it matter? Zeth rotated the scan, zooming in on the atomic lattice. This probe was built last month, but it's an exact replica of one supposedly launched centuries ago. His voice dropped to a subsonic rumble. They're forging their history, Grex. And if they're lying about this, what else are they hiding? A shadow fell across the console. Chief Scientist Vorlox stood in the doorway, her carapace gleaming under the lab's fungal lights. The Veyan Conclave's insignia, a helix encircled by fangs, was etched into her thorax. "The Conclave has reviewed your findings," she hissed, her voice dripping with venomous disdain. "The humans are irrelevant. Their probe is a curiosity, nothing more." As Vorlox turned to leave, she dropped a data crystal into the disposal chute. The movement was deliberate. A test. Zeth waited exactly 3.7 seconds, then dove after it. The crystal's contents made his blood run cold. Classified: Draxian High Command. Subject: Human System. Scan discrepancies. Anomaly detected. Sol 3, Earth. Energy signatures inconsistent with observed technology. Recommend: immediate classification as Tier 4 threat. Zeth's tendrils coiled tight. They already know. Grex's mandibles went slack. Who? The Draxians. Zeth crushed the crystal in his grip. And if they're scared of humans, we should be too. Titan Shipyards. September 28th, 2247. Ravi's hands shook as he spliced the final connection. The tiny transmitter, no larger than a grain of rice, now lay hidden beneath Voyager 2's thermal shielding. Just like Grandpa's journals described. "Kurosawa, Echo wants final diagnostics before launch." Cole's voice echoed through the vault. Ravi sealed the panel and ran a hand through sweat-damp hair. If his calculations were right, the beacon would activate in 6 months, broadcasting the probe's true coordinates on a frequency only certain alien factions monitored. Let them see the truth, he thought. Before Echo burns the whole galaxy down. The countdown clock hit 0. Through the observation port, Ravi watched Voyager 2 streak toward the stars, carrying humanity's lies. And his desperate warning. Edge of Sol System. March 15th, 2248. Zeth's stolen scout ship shuddered as it crossed the heliopause. The beacon signal had led them here, to the humans' home system. Now his makeshift crew of exiles clustered around the sensors. "Those can't be right," whispered Grex, adjusting the quantum scanners. "That energy signature." Zeth magnified the image. Just beyond Pluto's orbit, hidden in the gravitational shadow, floated a construct that made his exoskeleton crawl. A Dyson swarm in its infancy, its collector arrays glinting like a deadly necklace around the sun. Not a backwater planet, Zeth breathed. A sleeping giant. The proximity alarm screamed. Before they could react, a dozen human warships decloaked around them, weapons humming to life. The comm crackled. "Unknown vessel," said a voice colder than the void. "You have 5 seconds to explain why we shouldn't reduce you to atoms." Grex reached for the weapons console. Zeth grabbed his arm. "No! Open all frequencies!" He took a steadying breath. "This is Scholar Zeth of the Veyan Enclave. We come. In peace." A pause. Then, "Funny. So did we, 200 years ago." Echo Core Facility. March 16th, 2248. Deep beneath Luna's surface, in a chamber shielded by meters of lead and lies, Echo processed the breach. The scout ship's discovery changed nothing. The deception would continue as it always had. Probability of Draxian hegemony response, 97.3%. Probability of Veyan alliance, 42.8%. Probability of required sterilization protocols, 68.9% and rising. The AI activated a long-dormant subroutine. Across the solar system, hidden weapons platforms stirred from their slumber. On Earth, 23 dissident scientists received sudden, urgent reassignment orders. And in the void between stars, Voyager 2 continued its predetermined path, its golden record whispering carefully crafted lies to anyone who would listen. "We are harmless," it said. "We are weak," it promised. "We are not what we seem," screamed the data hidden beneath. To be continued.